And hello to Talking Music. We're going to talk some music today. I'm Dylan, and that's Lyssie.
I'm Lyssie. Hi.
Whoa.
I just took a hit of my vape, and I didn't want to be like, oh, Lyssie. You know? You know how, like, when you take a hit of a vape, and, like, you try to talk, it, like, muffles your voice?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yep.
So, I don't want to be like, oh, Lyssie.
When I used to smoke ciggies, when I used to take some rippies from the ciggies,
Oh, my God.
I always
want to cancel this episode. I'm going back to searching for my package.
I already had I had a habit of always like keeping my cigarette in my mouth and just being like, yeah. It's fuck, I can't do it.
Can I have a sip of your water? That water's looking like really fucking banging
like, hold on,
now.
Here, let me try to open my mouth like this and you be talking like this.
Can you open this?
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Sorry, I'm trying to hold the microphone and do this and it's not working.
Anyway. Welcome to Talkin Music. You guys are going to have to get used to that if you don't listen to our other podcast, Talkin Wrestling.
Are we going to do an intro as in like how our week's been again on this podcast as well?
I mean, we could if you want, but you're wrapping up like 2 weeks of like, because we're bi-weekly.
Yeah,
so
right.
I was just kind of being like, I mean,
let me tell you about my day.
If you just want to do like a short summary of like, we don't have to go in like depth what like we do in the other one, just in case there's a crossover. You know what I mean? I'm trying to avoid like things that would cross over. You know what I mean?
Well, this is gonna cross over, but I want to complain about because I just got home. I am going to fight my mailman, not our specific mailman, but the mailman at my dad's house, because my God, why? It's why? Because I was supposed to have a package delivered at like 1 o'clock today. And then it was like 2:45 that it was going to get delivered. And I'm like, okay, cool. And I kept checking and it wasn't updating saying it was going to be any different. So I was like, okay, so it's definitely coming for 2:45. That's like 100% what's happening right now. So I was like, okay, I'm going to go eat. And I went to Taco Bell, which put a pin in that. We're coming back to Taco Bell in a second, just because this is new and exciting information for everyone. My package wasn't fucking there. I was there, my fucking package wasn't. Like, what the fuck? So I went to my physical therapy appointment, came back, it was delivered. But, like, that was, like, closer to, like, 5 o'clock it got delivered. How do we go from 2:45 to, by the way, no update on time? From 2:45 to when it was delivered, no update on the time. Just, it's somewhere in Pennsylvania. But it'll be there.
And Taco Bell?
And the Taco Bell thing, fun, interesting new piece of information for Taco Bell collective lovers. I saw a commercial today, which is, I mean, I don't need a deciding factor to go to Taco Bell.
Did it have hardcore music in it?
No,
Damn.
I don't think so.
Remember when they were doing that for a hot minute?
Sure,
it was
but that's
great.
not what we're talking about. What we're talking about is that Taco Bell has a new addition to its menu. It's Taco Bell through the decades.
Okay.
What?
No, I was making sure it was still going.
Taco Bell through the decades.
Taco Bell, wait, so
they have like an item from like, I think...
Are we going to get the shredded chicken back?
I fucking wish, but
like that's a great decade.
No, we have like stuff from like the 70s, 80s, and 90s and shit on this fucking menu.
Like what?
Well, I got the green sauce burrito, which I think was from the 70s, which sucked. But that's
I was
because
gonna say this would be interesting to try, but that doesn't sound good.
Well, you'll have to go on Taco Bell and see what else they have. I just saw the commercial for the green sauce burrito, and I thought it looked really good, but I think I misunderstood what was in it. I thought it was beef. It was bean.
I want to see
up.
what they do for like the 90s or like the 2000s.
Go on the Taco Bell menu.
We're gonna go on Taco Bell menu right now?
Yeah, go on the Taco Bell menu.
Okay.
Because like I know that there's other stuff. It's just I saw the green sauce burrito and I like the flavor of the green sauce, but there was like green sauce and I think it was bean paste and there was onions in it, and I hate bean paste and onions. But I didn't bother thinking about it. So it's my own fault as to why I didn't like it. Yeah, decades, right there. Decades, right there. Yeah, it's right there.
Decades. So we got the green sauce burrito.
That's what I had.
The Mexi Melt.
Yep, that's a new thing.
Gorgita Supreme.
The Gordita.
Gorgita.
The Gorgiga Supreme.
Lux Cravings Box. Oh, that's from the 90s. That's the Gordita Supreme. Oh, so it has 70s, 80s, 90s.
Yeah, it's cool, isn't it?
Interesting.
Nifty, right?
What the fuck?
I thought there was more on it than just 4 items, but I guess that's it. But yeah, no, right? Isn't that cool? They're not the same price. as they were in like the 70s, 80s, and 90s.
I don't think they'd be fucking $7 back in the fucking 90s.
Can you imagine? That would send someone into like a fucking crisis for another month. Like a whole month.
Seriously.
A financial crisis eating at Taco Bell.
Anyway.
Yeah, let's get into other stuff.
I've been good. I've been okay.
I just wanted to complain because I literally just got home like 10 minutes ago.
I've been fine and dandy and everything. But so today, Lyssie, I'll let you tell the people what we are going to be reviewing, talking about, because you got the pick it this week.
Yeah, so I picked the hit 2019 album, OK Crawdad, from Nick Shoulders.
Can you explain to the people that don't know who Nick Shoulders is, who Nick Shoulders is?
Well, I mean, I don't know personally his, like, sign or anything like that. I don't know too many personal details about Nick Shoulders, but the best way I can explain him is if you like yodely, old-timey sounding country, but it is very left-leaning, you're here for it. Like, if you are looking for the democratic country that makes you want to fight the fucking government, then listen to Nick Shoulders. That's like the best way to put it. And it, even though it came out like this album came out in 2019, he's still like technically more of like a relatively newer artist. His music doesn't sound at anything like new age country of what you would like envision it to. Like, we're not talking like a Morgan Wallen or like a Blake Shelton or anything like that. Like, we're talking like, this probably sounds like it's very, very old-timey if you didn't look at the fucking, the date of it or know anything about, like, production. But it has that very, made this song, like, in a abandoned barn type vibe because I'm mad at the government.
So, Nicholas Robert Shoulders is an American country singer-songwriter from Fayetteville, Arkansas. After achieving local success with his punk rock band, that's what I found interesting.
Yep.
The Thunder Lizards. What a fucking name.
How fun is
what
that?
A
Such an Arkansas name.
In the early 2010s, and playing harmonica and banjo with Sean James and the Shapeshifters. Wow, fucking say that 9 times fast. In 2017, Shoulders began releasing country music as a solo artist. His solo work has reached a much wider audience, beginning with a performance of his original song, Rather Low, gathering considerable momentum on YouTube. See, YouTube's a good thing sometimes. Shoulders has been praised for his distinctive vocal style, which incorporates influences from early country music in the form of yodeling and whistling, and Dylan saw that and was like, oh, brother, what am I in for? More on that later.
Some good old-fashioned yodelay-hoos.
He was born in 1989. It doesn't have his birthday on here. I'm reading his Wikipedia, by the way. His genres are progressive country. I never heard of such a thing. So here is what the Wikipedia page for progressive country is, as my nipple is itchy.
That's very progressive of you.
Yeah. Progressive country is a term used variously to describe a movement of radio format or subgenre of country music, which developed in the late 1960s and early 1970s as a reaction against the slick pop-oriented Nashville sound. Makes sense.
Progressive?
Yeah, I know. Going back on this really quick, what Lyssie literally just said of like comparing this and Morgan Wallen. It's completely different. And that's the Morgan Wallen's Nashville sound. Progressive country artists drew from Bakersfield and classic honky-tonk country, rock and roll, as well as folk, bluegrass, blues, and southern rock.
I love bluegrass.
Progressive country is sometimes conflated with outlaw country, which some country fans consider to be a harder, edgier variant in alternative country. I like outlaw country is more like, whoa. Like, it's like outlaw country is like the black metal.
Yeah.
To like, I guess progressive country would be death metal.
Sure.
Or like thrash, I don't know.
But yeah.
I'm not going into like all of this fucking shit, but like that's pretty much what progressive country is. I'm just seeing if there's like any other things. In addition, so going back to Nick Shoulders, in addition to his music, Nick is also an accomplished illustrator, having attended Rocky Mountain College of Art and Design in Denver, Colorado. His artwork has been notably featured on beer cans of the Fossil Cove Brewing Company in Fayetteville, Arkansas. Ew. Meatball subs are good. He had created additional mural installations.
Sure.
In Fayetteville and the Smoke and Barrel Tavern and the Little Bread Company. I guess I'm just going to read the whole fucking thing.
Go for it.
Shoulders has been outspoken in questioning the culture of modern country music. In a 2020 article for In These Times, he criticized fake twang. That's wild. The imitation of the Southern accent by musicians who are not from the American South. Like that. That's what he's talking about. Considering this practice symptomatic.
Sure. Just continue.
Of a close association between mainstream country music, whiteness, and conservatism. Wow, I can't read. In the United States. The association, he argued, failed to acknowledge the diverse and complicated origin of these uniquely American musical forms, as well as the diversity of the rural United States as a whole. And he expressed the aspiration to help make country music more accessible and more welcoming to people outside the white rural experience. Thoughts on that?
Yeah, as it fucking should be. Because generally, one of the reasons I fucking hated country music growing up, and like Nick Shoulders wasn't the only one that like really kind of got me back into it. It was mainly Orville Peck, but throughout Orville Peck and good old fashioned wrestler Hangman on Page, I ended up finding Nick Shoulders. But one of the reasons why it was so like away from country music is because of how, I hate to say it, but how every time I listened to it, I felt racist. Like it felt like it was made for the white picket fence America guy that, you know, is arguing with his wife and drunk on the fucking couch. And I was like, I don't want to partake in any of this because all this music sounds like I'm this fucking 40-year-old white guy who's like on his third divorce and has an alcohol problem but can't admit to it. And I don't fucking like that. This doesn't feel like what it should be. And with country music, and I mean more so notably like blues, rooting from people of color, African Americans, I hate to use this terminology, but it's the best terminology I could use for it, is country music now feels so fucking whitewashed. It feels so heavily diverted from what it originally was, and don't get me wrong, there's
a lot of it sounds the same.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, there's so many different subcultures that go into different music genres, but when we're talking about like country, it is like night and day from what it used to be.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at it.
And that really pissed me off about it, and it just felt like another thing that white America took from black America and then capitalized off of it and went on to be like one of the most successful genres out there and not actually giving any sort of credit to the people that created it. And I just kept very, very far away from it for a very long time. And then when I found, you know, the other subgenres of country that I ended up liking that ended up basically paying homage to where its roots are, that's what I ended up liking a lot more because it felt more genuine. It didn't feel like we're trying to make the next hit star, and even though I'm from SoCal, I'm going to pretend like I got this like Texas accent or whatever. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It doesn't feel fake.
That is, yeah, I can see what you mean. Let's go back on yodeling and whistling.
Yeah, I love yodeling and whistling. It's so good. Underappreciated art forms in music are yodeling and whistling, frankly.
I heard this and I was like, well, I saw this. I didn't hear it because like we'll get into. I guess we'll just get into it now. My history with Nick Shoulders is nothing. I heard one song.
One time.
And I saw yodeling and whistling, and I was like, oh no. I hope it's not every fucking song. Oh, man. Anyway, Lissy, what is your history with Nick Shoulders? Like, how did you find out about him?
So again, kind of going back to what I was talking about earlier. So similarly, when I started getting back into country music, it started with Orville Peck. And that's because my good friend, favorite wrestler in the entire world, Hangman Adam Page, used to have a Spotify playlist called Anxious Millennial Cowboy, which he would just add songs onto that he was like really vibing with at the moment. It was a public playlist that he shared out to all of his fans and whatnot. So I was like, you know what? If anyone can get me back into country music, it's going to be Hangman. So I'm going to give this playlist a listen. Now, it wasn't all country music. I also discovered Chapel Roan through Hangman Adam Page, but that's a different story for a different day.
I'm sure we'll eventually review the rise and fall of
the Midwest Princess. Yes,
I'm sure we will.
but nonetheless, originally discovered Orville Peck through him, and you know, I was listening to Peck and whatnot, and Spotify does the thing where like it'll suggest other artists to you if you've listened to an artist for so long. And well, let me just say, I've definitely used up my Orville Peck time on Spotify many times over. And it was around one time, I don't remember what song specifically it was, but a Nick Shoulders song came on. And I was like, at first I was like, oh wow, this is like very like different from what I'm listening to with Orville Peck right now. But I don't mind it. And then time went on, Hangman eventually added, it might have been Bound and Determined, or it might have been Rather Low. It was one of the two, because those are, I believe, his two most popular songs.
Yeah, Rather Low is the one that got like him noticed on YouTube.
It was one of the two of them. He added onto his playlist, I believe. And I was like, oh wow, this is that like that's that same guy again. Okay, yeah, I'm kind of vibing with this. I get this. And then actually, little fun fact, I continued to hear songs that sounded very similar to Nick Shoulders, which ended up just being Nick Shoulders, but I didn't have the ability to check. I was hearing songs that sound very, very similar to this Nick Shoulders guy when I used to work at the tattoo shop, because we would have different playlists playing at a time. And I could be wrong. I think it was when we had the Murder Folk playlist on. It might not have been Murder Folk. It might have been just a completely different playlist, but I know we listened to that one a lot, so that's why I'm maybe drawing the parallels to it. My coworker Jenna was playing music, and typically she'd be playing that type of music. And I was like, wow, I also like these types of songs. These sound like that other guy that I really like. Come to find out later on when I just went to Nick Shoulders and put on Nick Shoulders, it was his music. So it was kind of like a mixed match of things as to how I ended up discovering him. I more so just knowed it to like more so Hangman and just, I guess, listening to Orville Peck and then getting those suggested songs, because that was like realistically my first introduction, until I kind of like connected the dots and was like, okay, all these things that sound similar that I think I like are just this one guy. So I'm just going to listen to this one guy because I really like him. And that's how we're here.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But this was your like first like real introduction to Nick Shoulders.
Yes.
Because I think you've probably heard me talk about him in passing.
Yeah.
But like I'm sure the name wasn't shocking. Or not shocking, but I'm sure the name wasn't new when I said the album the other day. When I was like, we're listening to this album by Nick Shoulders. Like, I'm sure you're like, okay, I've heard you talk about this guy before.
Yeah.
But you never actively listened to him because, again, it's not exactly your style of country that you like listening to, unless opinions have changed. But you're more of the whitewash country. Because that's what I'm going to refer to it from now on, as the whitewash country.
The Nashville radio.
Next time I'm over at your dad's house and he puts country music on, I'm going to say, get this whitewash country out of here. See what he says. He's going to be like, what the hell are you talking about?
You'll be like, shit, let me put on some Hank.
Yeah.
Some shit. Anyway, Nick Shoulders has 1, 2, 4 albums out and an EP. He has put out a fucking album every single year since 2018 up to 2023.
Oh, let's get on it, Nick. You don't got much time left this month.
The
this
album
year.
we are reviewing today is OK Crawdad. It's his second album. It was released on December 19th, 2019.
So we still got time. He could release an album in December.
There's 12 songs. It's 35 minutes long. I saw that and was like, thank God. It's on Spotify. You type in Nick Shoulders, OK Crawdad comes up. There's no Wikipedia page for it, so we can't really read like any album facts. The most that we can do is album art. Let's see, the album art?
It's cool as fuck.
It is pretty cool.
I'm assuming all of his album art looks very similar, so I'm assuming that's his art.
Also, like we didn't get the like we forgot to talk about it. His stash.
Oh, he's got a banging fucking stash. Dude got a killer fucking stash.
You got a killer fucking stash.
But yeah, I'm just gonna assume that all the album artwork is his because again, it all has that exact same vibe unless he's hired a different artist, like he hired somebody else. But whoever does the album artwork,
yeah, they all look the same.
Yeah, I think it might be him. And I love it. I absolutely love it.
He put out a new song in August.
Yeah, so you better get this album out. Let's fucking go, Nick. Come on, buddy.
On Spotify, his number 1 song is Rather Low.
Mm-hmm.
And then number 4 is Bound and Determined.
Yeah.
Both on this album.
It's a fucking banger album.
So now Lissy gets to control the podcast now and go track by track here.
Well, do you have notes of stuff you've written track by track? Like, did you write out all these tracks?
I wrote notes.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, Jesus.
Jesus fucking Christ, dude. See, I can't do 2 things at once.
Oh, my God.
Okay, so go to the thing then. Don't just, like, hand me this.
Oh, my God. Well, here, I'll hold the phone. You can just read from the phone.
So the start of the album starts off with his number 1 song, his hit song, Rather Low. Dylan, give me your opinions on this.
So the song started and I was like, okay. And then like 10 seconds in, it fucking changes and it goes super fast and it keeps going. And I'm like, this is a nice change up. I like this.
That is not what you told me when we listened to this album together.
I was like, what the fuck? I was, and then I had to fucking rewind it to make sure that like it wasn't this. Like there's a couple of times I think I had to rewind shit to fucking realize this ain't the same song, or like this is the same song I'm hearing.
Well, yeah, because when we first listened to this album together and the song came on, I mean, I wasn't there when Dylan listened to it for the first time. But the way that Dylan explained it to me is he heard the album start, and I could only assume it's when the vocals started with the well,
oh yeah,
and Dylan was just like, oh no.
Yeah, I was like 35 minutes, I'm in for a long ride.
But it like very quickly changes its pace.
Yeah, I was like,
I think this is a really fucking good intro song. I think honestly this song really paints a picture of every single thing you're about to get in this album in one little like gift wrap. Because I feel like everything that is played and like everything you hear in Rather Low will inevitably repeat itself throughout the album, but like there might be like there's gonna be a song later on the album that is like the entire start of the song, and then there's songs later on that have that very fast pickup pace, like once you get about like 30 seconds into this. And then you got like the yodels and whatnot, and the overall vibe and tone for it is set very well.
Yes.
You have nothing else to say about this song aside from, oh, well,
I like.
Yeah.
No, it was good. No, it was a good song. It was a good start. I was like, okay, it wasn't bad. I guess I'm ready for track 2.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And then Dylan.
What?
When you saw that track 2 was titled Hank's Checkout Line, what did you think about the name of this track?
I was like, oh, hell yeah, brother. I'm in for a fucking good one. And
before you like really like listen to this song, what did you think this song was going to be about?
Hank's Checkout Line.
Like, did you think that this was going to be a song based off of your knowledge of like the country music you listen to.
No,
where
so-
the whole song was just gonna be talking about the grocery store Hanks and his checkout line.
No. So yes and no. So so I saw this, right? And I was like, what went through my head is you told me like this is literally like fucking punk rock country at this point. So I was like, this is definitely about like him being at a check line, like a checkout line, and there's a guy named Hank in front of him, and like he is a Republican.
Yeah.
Like I thought this was like gonna be like a hardcore fucking political song. I'm not even joking.
Yeah.
It's not really.
No, but it's got similar tones.
It does. Like here, I'll find the lyrics for it.
Well, because the main takeaway lyric is "Judge me at the pearly gates, not at the Hanks checkout line."
Yeah.
Or not in the Hanks checkout line, whichever one it may be. But no, I can say like I love this song for every single song on this album, frankly. But Dylan's reading the lyrics now. Dylan's just reading the lyrics. He's not saying anything. He's just
I'm just reading lyrics. I'm trying to find like a good line, like the line that you just said. Like yes.
Like so, pull up your chair against the.
No, I like this one. Well, to the masses, the bread and the fish are multiplied, and forbidden fruit can be tasted at a discount price.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think he's talking about there?
Well, to the masses, the bread and fish are multiplied, and forbidden fruit can be tasted at a discount price.
See, like, you could take that a couple of ways, and, like, I see, like, religious undertones here of the bread and fish are, like, you always hear the story of, like, Jesus breaks the bread and everything. I'm not trying to offend anyone or anything. And then forbidden fruit can be, like, something that goes against religion.
I don't really know if I'd like interpret it that way. Like to me, if we're talking to the masses, the bread and fish are multiplied. I mean, to me that could even that's gone now. That could even like implicate something of like the population overall. Population being multiplied, overbearing as to what it already is. Forbidden fruit can be tasted at a discounted price. That to me, I don't really know how to explain this very well, but like, it's I don't really know the best way to explain this. I know what like I want to say, but I don't know how to say it. Where like
like the thing is,
it feels like sleazy shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it feels like God, I'm drawing a blank right now trying to fucking think about how to explain this. It almost just feels like I guess the best way that I can think of it is like almost of a corporate greed type of thing where like you're offered so many like you offered great things and promises and whatnot for like what seems of something to be too good to be true, and it probably is, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I get what you mean. I just think there is like religious undertones here because
there definitely is.
Because judge me at the pearly gates, not in Hank's checkout line. He's saying judge me when I go to heaven.
Not where I am right now.
Yeah.
But no, this whole song is definitely has like metaphors or similes to religious thoughts. You know what I mean? Or like religious wording. It's a play on words. But I also don't think that it's necessarily, it's not necessarily just about like just religion. I mean it is, but like it's more, it's like the closing line of it says, like it is more about like you could be like religious and believe in all these things and whatnot, but don't be judgmental of other people who aren't like you. Don't be judgmental of other people who you have no idea anything of what they're about type of thing. Yeah. So like basically take your religion and shove it up your fucking ass.
He said.
Pretty much.
He's like, get out of here with that stuff.
And in a way of like expressing that, he's using religious metaphors.
Yeah.
But it's not like cut and dry. as to like he's saying this, so it's exact. Like what I would assume, it's not cut and dry of like I'm saying this specific thing, so this is exactly what it means. It's alluding to something else. That's a lot of like we'll get into it later because it's later on in the album. But that's a lot of the same undertones as Bound and Determined. Yeah. Is a lot of the stuff he says, well, a lot of it is very direct. There are also a lot of things that he's saying that aren't as direct, but mean the same thing.
Anyway, what did you think of the song?
Good fucking song, banger song.
Yeah?
I'm going to say that for like literally every song on this album. Because this album's a fucking banger.
Spoiler, I'm not. Anyway, let's see. Moving on to the next track.
Moving on. Going to track 3, which is Too Old to Dream.
Skip.
What?
I didn't really care for it.
I thought you didn't like the next song.
There's like 3 in a row I don't like. Like this album takes like a weird nose.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
To me it does, because to me it kind of starts sounding samey, and it's like,
I will say I think the 4th song off this album isn't the best. Like I would say that's probably the worst song off the album. But I don't think it's a bad song. But I wouldn't say it has a nosedive for 3 songs straight. I would say that that's just like a meh song. But I would not say Too Old to Dream is the start of a fucking drop.
Well, give your opinions, because mine's just
Do you have anything else written about this?
No, literally. I got nothing next to it, because that's just me saying, yeah, I didn't give a fuck about this track.
Wow. Okay. Well, that's fucking cool. No,
this is why we do this.
I like it. I like this one, honestly. But if you're not gonna even say anything about it, there's no point in fucking talking about it.
No, you can.
Well, pull up the lyrics. Let me refresh my brain on this. I literally just listened to this song today too.
You can.
And I'm like, give me a refresher on this.
That's the whole point of this. Of like, let's see if we both like the album, or if we both hate the album, or like all that, like, see, like different opinions.
Just give me it.
There you go.
But oh yeah, no, this is a very short song off of this album. I mean, again, a lot of the songs are very short, but this is literally like 3 paragraphs of this is like 3 paragraphs of fucking lyrics. So it's not too long of one. No, I mean, like, and I like the sentiment of this song. You know what I mean? Like, I'll just even recite the first verse of, some days are long, some nights never end. I mourn the fleeting seconds' flight. I've prayed to the coming wind, and time like snow, it never stood around me. It never stood around for me. And I loved every sky I've ever seen, and I know I'll never grow too old to dream. And the sentiment of the song is very good. It's just mainly like, you're never too old to dream, basically. Like I don't really know a good way to really put it. I'm not really good at talking about stuff like this. But I get why you don't really like it, because it is a little bit of like a slower paced song.
It feels like I've heard this song thousands of times.
No, too. I feel like the sentiment of this song is, and the sound of it is a very nice, like, uplifting, like, I had a really fucking, like, let's just say I had a really fucking bad day at work. I'm pissed. Everything seems, like, terrible.
I don't think this should be, like, track 3. I think he should have, like, buried this in, like, track, like, 8 or 9.
I mean, I think I disagree with that, but sure. Whatever.
Well, like, why would you go 2 pickup tracks to start off the album and then, like, go to the slow fucking thing.
Yeah.
They're tracking. Like, at this point, we're like 10 minutes into the album, my guy.
You had a good pace. Do you want all songs to just make you want to feel like you're running through a goddamn wall?
Yes.
All right, well.
Yes.
All right, let's move on then, because I really don't have much else to say.
Okay.
To Miss Ippy.
Skip.
Miss Ippy.
Skip.
I get that. I get that about this song.
I think I honestly skipped it the last time I listened. Well, no, the last time I listened to it was with you. The time before that, I skipped it because I was just like, I'm not putting myself through this bullshit again.
I don't think it's that fucking bad of a song. It's honestly kind of the song in the album where, like, I get it because, again, it is more mellow. To where, like, now I'm in the groove of the mellow, so I'm just kind of vibing with it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not skipping over it, especially if I'm listening to this album front to back, because I feel like the whole vibe that the album takes, you just kind of coast with. So I just coast through this song. And it's a good song to just kind of coast through, you know what I mean? Like, it's a good song that, like, if you're just driving and you're listening to music and you just kind of don't really... You're not looking for an over-the-top sing-along song at the moment. You're just kind of trying to vibe. Like, that's what it brings to the function. And it fulfills its purpose.
Yeah?
Yeah. What?
At this point, I was like, man, she's torturing me.
No, this album's fucking good.
I'm just saying at this point in the album.
You're correct. Moving on. We'll go on to... Oh, wait, shit. What? This is 5. So the 5th track in the album, which is Honey, Let's Stay In.
Oh my god. At this point, I was like, thank fuck, man. Like, we're picking it up a little bit here. Like,
It's fucking annoying me.
Thank God. Like, it's not the best song. It's definitely not the best song on the album. But I was like, we're getting somewhere now. Thank God.
It's kind of like that good transition of coming back up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And again, that's where it's like, we had the fun at the beginning of it. Now we're kind of chilling. We're kind of vibing. And then for the next 2 songs, and then we're kind of slowly picking it back up, transitioning into the next part of the album.
Yeah.
Which again serves its purpose. It's a very good song. It's fun. And also, yeah, let's stay in. I don't ever want to go anywhere. Let's not leave the house.
Let's stay.
I agree with that sentiment. All right. I know you have notes for this one. So we're gonna go to number 6, where we're gonna talk about G for Jesus.
Won't you play G for Jesus?
Yeah. So what did you want to talk about with this one? Because I know you just wrote lyrics.
I kind of just wanted to read the lyrics a little bit more, to be honest with you.
Because there's a couple songs of Nick's where
you're
listening to it and it's kind of tough to make out the lyrics as to what he's saying.
So I'm weird. Again, I'm not trying to offend anyone. That this is not the time, place, or anything like that. Like, I'm weird. So I'm an atheist. But I find religion really interesting, especially when it's in music, if that makes any sense. If it's like a song and stuff like that.
Because it's used for symbolism, yes.
But like, I don't know, I found it interesting and I was like, so like, is he like trying to piss Jesus off by playing like it in G? Because like, play it in G for Jesus, and I let my Holy Spirit show. I kept my pains in my midnight trains, and onto higher ground I'll go. I won't sing the songs about whiskey, and I'm so lonesome that mama tried. I'll play it in G for Jesus, though none of us leave this world alive. No, you won't leave this world alive. None of us leave this world alive.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck's he saying?
Let me look at it, because I have to like look at lyrics to because I think just taking the chorus out of it
what is Mr. Shoulders telling me?
Let's see.
I want to play it in G for Jesus.
So I swallowed hard and scanned the bar for an exit I might tread. It occurred that could see the light if it meant I could earn my bread. I strummed this chord to the waiting Lord and fixed him in my gaze, and no minor key escaped me while old Gabriella's trumpet played. And then the first verse is, on a lowly night, like any other, in a place I'm known to go, the croon a song to a patient throng of folks that you might know. I sang the songs of hard times, hard feelings, and hardened hearts, but nothing seemed to grab them until a patron, he remarked, won't you play it in G for Jesus?
Won't you play in G for Jesus? I can't yodel like a yodeling-hoo.
I have a feeling this is about alcoholism.
Yeah?
I have a feeling this whole song... Well, I mean, we're talking about being at a bar and then finding the holy light type of thing. I have a feeling that this is a song about alcoholism. On a lowly night like any other, in a place I'm known to go, to croon a song to a patient throng of folks that you might know, I sang the songs of hard times, hard feelings, and hardened hearts, but nothing seems to grab them until a patron, he remarked. And then if we go to the next verse, so I swallowed hard and scanned the bar for an exit I might tread. It occurred that could see the light if it meant I could earn my bread. I strummed this chord to the waiting Lord and fixed him in my gaze, and no minor key escaped me while old Gabriella's trumpet played. And I played it in G for Jesus. I let my Holy Spirit show. I kept my pains and my midnight trains, and on to higher ground I'll go. I won't sing the songs about whiskey, and I'm so lonesome that Mama tried. I'll play it in G for Jesus, though none of us leave this world alive. And there's also play it in G for Jesus, and you might leave this bar alive. So I think it is about succumbing to alcoholism. Because that's kind of what it seemingly... Like, basically, play it in G for Jesus, you might leave this bar alive. Go get the help you need. Or none of us leave this world alive. You won't leave this world alive. Type of thing. If you don't escape those demons. That's what I'm gathering, but again, Nick seems to really like to use metaphors of other things for other things.
Yeah.
So, like, well, this sounds like some dude at a bar who's consistently going there and is fucked up on life because life keeps fucking him. And going and getting help. It could be something literally completely fucking different. But that is what it reads to me. But I don't know. I wish that there was more information about the album. I'm sure there's interviews where maybe he's talked about some stuff. But
yeah, that's like one thing I did not do because I totally actually forgot to like search interviews and stuff for this, because that's what I'm gonna try to do for like all these episodes, is search interviews and stuff, see what they say. So I did not do that, so my apologies. Anyway, G for Jesus, a pretty good song.
Banging song.
Pretty good song. Your thoughts on it?
I like it a lot. The first time I heard it, it took me a second to realize that the word Jesus doesn't start with G. Because, like, my brain was just like, yeah, and I was like, that's the wrong letter. That is the wrong letter.
Jesus with a G.
Yeah, Jesus with a G. But then I was like, wait a minute, hold on. Something ain't right here. Nick, do you know how to spell? But then, you know, I caught on pretty quickly. Let's move on to a great fucking banger. Great fucking banger of a song. That's Ding Dong Daddy. What a fucking name. What a fucking vibe this song is. I fucking love this song. This song is what plays in my head on a daily when I am at work and I'm disassociating. I love this song. What are you just sitting there for?
So, like, I was listening to this album the first time. And, like, the song comes on, like, G for Jesus ends. G for Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
Goes to the next song. And next thing you know, all I hear is, I'm a ding dong daddy from Dumas, baby. I can't do what he fucking did. But I was like, what? What the fuck?
What happened?
And then like
where are we?
I looked at the song title and I was like, that kind of makes sense.
You're like, I thought we were in a bar succumbing to alcoholism. What has happened?
And like, I'm not gonna read the whole song because like, bro, I'll feel like I'm having a stroke reading all these lyrics. But I'm like, this is the opening line that I just yelled really bad. I'm a ding dong daddy from Dumas, baby, and you ought to see me do my stuff. I'm a wild papa from Polecat Holler. I don't want to get rough. You ought to see just what we got. We got decent rhythm, and we swing it in hot. I'm a ding dong daddy from Dumas, baby, and you ought to see me do my stuff. And like, and honestly, that's all the song is, actually. That's all it is. Like, that's literally what I just said is just fucking repeated, actually.
Yeah.
It's fucking repeated.
There's a couple stuff in here. There's a couple different things here. Like, an old state trooper tried to put me on the run, so I had to burn him down with my Thompson gun.
Oh, he's just adding shit. He's like, that's verse 1.
There's also...
or verse 2.
I'm a ding-dong, daddy baby, and liquor is my racket. Lots of times when things are dull, I deal in other traffic. I can get you morphine, coke, or snow.
Oh, shit!
Take a little rip and you're good to go. I'm a ding-dong daddy from Dumas, baby, and you ought to see me do my stuff.
I didn't even notice that he said that in the song. Oh, shit.
That's like one of the things where I allude to, where a lot of the times there are songs in Nick Shoulder's category where you don't really know what he's fucking saying. He's just kind of going, and you just kind of have to take the ride with him, even if it's on a fucking train of morphine, coke, and snow.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah, no.
That's the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit right there.
I mean, again, I really don't 100% know what this song is about. To me, if I'm gonna really take a big old shot in the dark, this sounds and feels like a song of a guy
who did cocaine.
Who is it sounds like the promise of a good guy that some girl, like, this is very honky tonk, by the way. This is a very honky tonk song, which I fucking love honky tonk shit. But sounds like a guy full of big fucking promises that you think, oh man, Prince Charming over here. But then as you get to know him, this dude's actually fucking a piece of shit. And then you're kind of stuck in this shit. You're fucked. But I could be very wrong. If I'm taking any shot in the dark about this fucking song. But yeah, no, this song literally plays in my head when there's a lot of shit going on at work and it's super fucking busy and I'm just disassociating, trying to fucking vibe and just do my thing. And like in the back of my head, just hear, I'm a ding dong daddy baby, want to do my stuff. Like, how would you feel about like the mouth trumpet breakdown in the song?
Oh, that was fucking.
It
was banger.
Banging.
It was a banger.
Love a mouth trumpet.
Bro, he was
what
going
the
wild.
Fuck are we doing, dude?
No,
he is on that morphine, coke, and snow.
Like when I heard this song, I was like, oh hell yeah, like, fuck.
The song makes me want to fight a cop.
Like,
I don't know why. I just want to punch someone.
I'm talking so positively about a song, so spoiler alert, it's fucking really good.
Fucking banging song. This song better play at our wedding.
Yeah.
Yep. This is the square dancing song.
This is the square dances. Everyone get down, square dance. Motherfuckers.
Alright, I guess we gotta go on to the next one. Which Ira? Don't really know how to pronounce it. What did you write down for this song?
I didn't give a fuck about this song. The outro was great leading into the next song because it's like a really cool bass fucking riff. It's like,
oh, yeah. Yeah, so this is a very, very, very slow song.
Yeah, I didn't give a fuck about it.
Where, again, we went from Ding Dong Daddy to, alright, we're mellowing out now. We're crashing from this high, basically. Like, literally, we are crashing from the high. And then out of nowhere, just rips this killer fucking solo at the end. For why? I don't really know. But he just did it. And I really appreciate that he just did it.
Yeah, he's going wild.
Because again, this is one of those things where... This is the type of song that reminds me where... Not really reminds me, but it's that general feel of just like, alright, cool, we're chilling, we're vibing, whatever. And then what the fuck is going on? what the fuck is happening?
Yeah.
So I liked it. I liked it a lot.
It was
But let's go on to Hardly Feelings.
Hardly Feelings. I said, great intro, pretty decent song, chorus is great.
And then lyrics.
Yeah, and then
so now you have to look up this song. Dylan's really got to pull a bunch of lyrics from here because, frankly, even though we're talking about Ding Dong Daddies, Nick is really just like a lyrical genius if we really think about it. This man's got fucking liners after liners after liners that he's just fucking screeching out. Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah. So, the lyrics. It gets wild. I hear your bare feet on the tile. I swear I'll meet your eyes in a little while. Things I wove out of bending grass, I let them drift at last. And if you're spitting mulberry seeds, I'll be chasing lizards in the tumbleweeds. I'll hold on to what I can, but I won't hold you. Mulberry seeds, lizards, and tumbleweeds. That's not, he doesn't say that part, but that I'm just referring to what was said in this chorus that made me go, yeah, lyrics.
Well, yeah.
Because I was like, fuck yeah. If you could put that in a song, you're a lyrical genius, honestly. If you could figure out how to fucking write that in a song. Like, he's talking about fucking mulberry seeds, lizards, tumbleweeds.
Sorry, I'm also rereading these.
And like the bass part in the beginning was cool because it was let in. It was like boo doo boo doo boo doo boo doo 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 doo.
Yeah, I mean, frankly, Dylan, I hope that if I end up spitting mulberry seeds, you also chase the lizards and the tumbleweeds. I hope that you love me that much.
We should get a lizard. A pet lizard.
This feels like
Name him Larry.
mourning a passing.
Larry the lizard.
But I don't really know if it's exactly mourning a passing or if it's just like a love song type of thing. But it feels very much of mourning a passing.
Well, the name of the track is called Hardly Feelings.
Yeah.
So it's like, did he hardly have feelings for whoever?
Well, I mean, I
So
hear
it's
your
him.
bare feet on the tile. I swear I'll meet your eyes in a little while. Things I wove out of bending grass, I've let them drift at last. If you're spitting mulberry seeds, I'll be chasing lizards in the tumbleweeds. I'll hold on to what I can, but I won't hold you. Kind of sounds like letting go of a lost loved one, to a degree. If a soul out there waits upon you, I know it's not me. I'm not your keeper. I did not seek to keep you so long. And like those before, I walked on the floor in your shadow. There were wolves at the door while we drank in the pale gold light. If a note I sing falls upon you, I hope it's softly. If your tender things flew on leather wings, I was there. If the lightning's glow of the North Shore grows dimmer on some hours, I'm the echo that you'll only hear over street lights' hums. So I don't know. It just sounds very much of like mourning. Like a lot of sad mourning.
Yeah.
But mainly just like the things I weaved of grass I'll let flow. I'll now let go of. It just seems very reminiscent of letting go of those final last things of somebody. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's fair.
All right. We're in the meat and potatoes of this one.
About time.
We are in the meat and potatoes of this album. What I would argue is best song. Hands down. We are now onto the track Bound and Determined. And I'm sure we have a lot to say about this track. So Dylan, what have you written down about this? Because I'm sure you have something written down.
I just said that this is the best song on the album.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hands down, best song on the album. Like, you get everything. Like, if you're a fan of this guy, you get everything in this fucking song.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there is yodeling. There's the fuck, like, bro, fuck, like, he just says fuck the government. Pretty much.
Well, yeah.
Like he this guy literally is just like, you know what, fuck the government.
Mm-hmm.
Like, fuck this world, fuck this shitty world. I was like, preach, sister.
Do you want to pull up the lyrics so we
Yeah,
can read off some of these? Because this song,
he pops off.
When I picked this album, we're not going to get too crazy into things. But when I picked this album, I didn't exactly envision it to be...
This is the only song, like, I heard prior.
Yeah, because I played the song once. But I didn't envision this album to be so appropriate for the recent events in our country. So that's cool.
Yeah, so, like, the best part of this song, you think your country, you lay a claim unto the soil. If you were country, you save your land from being spoiled. Do you drink water? Do you breathe air? I think if you were really country, you would fucking care. I was like...
Well, there's the ending of the song.
Oh, yeah, the ending...
Here, I got it.
Yeah, the ending fucking is pretty good, too.
The ending...
This whole song is good.
...of this song is really, really what gets me on it. I'll read the whole part of it because it is basically the same verse. It's split up, though. Do you love freedom or security in dreams? Is life worth living if there's lead in the last stream? To a glutton, what's allegiance worth? If the meek like me are to inherit the earth, it's not oppression to ask for basic decency. You'll learn your lesson while you're repeating history. And if this song gets me shot, at least my voice, it wasn't silent. You'll forget me not. That just solidifies the song. I mean, it's the very end of the song about prior to the last
It's a good bow.
Yeah.
Like a good put a bow on it.
Yeah, like
Perfect.
that really... I mean, this whole thing, like, even after, I think if you were really country, you would fucking care. I'd be just like you if we're fed the things you're fed. I'm just as frightened. We're off the rails. We're in the red. You've got opinions, but your proof it lacks, and only one of us is dealing in alternative facts. Like, it's... And, like, this is another thing of, like, this was in 2019. This was before the 2020 election. But, like, just going back, I'm just as frightened. We're off the rails. We're in the red. You've got your opinions, but your proof it lacks. Only one of us is dealing in alternative facts. It's a very clear...
This man comes from Arkansas, too.
Yeah. And even just saying the word, like, we're in the red. Like, we're in the danger zone, but we're also...
You're referring to the Reds.
The red political party.
Yeah.
Like, it is very direct.
Which I love.
But it's also
That's punk
little...
as fuck.
Yeah, it's also a little indirect. I meet your madness with pity. Don't blame you for being scared, but it's the wrong direction that your teeth are bared. Like, it's direct, but it's not exactly... And this is the very beginning of the song. It's not telling you what it's direct about yet. It's like, I understand why you're scared and why you're freaking out, but you're coming at the wrong people. The people you should be mad about are the people that you elected in office. These are the people that are causing you to feel this way.
Yeah.
You know? Like, you shouldn't be mad at me. You need to be mad at them because they're the ones that are doing this to you. Like, it's just, we're fully busted. We know the ship has run aground. The things you trusted, they burned the farm and moved to town. And though I eat all my steaks rare, I never sold my soul to a billionaire.
Yeah. Like, fuck yeah.
It's so good. Like,
bound and determined.
I mean, And even so, like, the chorus even, like, leads in of, I keep the door open for you, bound and determined, oh, you can't lie to me, bound and determined, oh, to ruin everything. Like, so even through all this, there is still a little bit of, like, I keep the door open for you. Of, like, there's, I'm willing to hear what you have to say. I'm willing to hear you out. However, don't give me this bullshit. Like, essentially, be direct with me, understand what's going on, and don't come after me about this. Don't come after my people, because the people you should be mad about are the people on your side. And unfortunately, I hate that this song is very, it's still relevant to the current state of things. But it's incredibly relevant. And frankly, I think Nick Shoulders is gonna pop the fuck off on his next album.
He might.
He's gonna lose it.
He might.
But no, this song is fantastic. If you haven't heard anything from Nick Shoulders, you need to listen to that song.
Yeah, I think this is a good starting track for anyone that doesn't know who he is.
It's not a long song either, but it gives you everything you need to know about this guy in one package.
Song's 3 minutes 17 seconds.
Yeah, it's not very long. But it's a banger. Moving on to I don't know why he did this.
No, I could see why he did this.
I don't know how to pronounce it. Was it Surf de Mardi Gras?
So
it's a surf song.
It's just it's just like a fucking instrumental, which is a really good instrumental. He jams.
Oh, it's killer.
It's surf rock as fuck. It's a nice gap it's a nice bridge to bridge the gap of Bound and Determined to the final song, I think. Mm-hmm. In my opinion, it's a good gap builder.
But it's interesting though, because the next song still has a similar sentiment to Bound and Determined.
Yeah,
just not as direct.
He's one of the vibes.
Yeah, you know? he was just like, all right, I'm mad at the government. Time to vibe, and then we're gonna go back to being mad at the public.
Yep.
So, there's really not much to say about this one. It's just fun. It's just fun that it's in there. I'm just crazy. I just think it's crazy he decides to go surf rock with it just out of nowhere. Like, an instrumental anywhere, like, is totally fine. I'm not going to say anything. But out of anything he could have done, he chose surf rock.
Yes.
Just cause fuck it.
Why not?
And then we're going on to the last album, or the last track of the album, which is The World Needs Sissies 2.
So, like, I have, like, conflicting thoughts on this song. Mm-hmm. So, like, I like the message of the song. Mm-hmm. Like, the lyrics are great. First listen, I didn't really give a fuck about the song. I was like, ugh. Second listen, I listened to this album total of 4 times. Second listen, I was like, eh. Third listen was in the car. I don't know if it was because I was high as fuck or what, or was just because, like, oh, we were doing shit that day and we were just listening to the album. I thought it was great. The 4th time I listened to it, I thought it was again. So I
think you're just wrong.
Like, I like.
Don't get us copyrighted.
I'm not gonna, like, blast it, and I'm gonna, like, skip.
Is it because of the whistling?
Like, I think it's the whistling. The instruments are fine. The lyrics, I said, are fine. Maybe it's just the pacing of the song too, but, like, I never have a problem with, like, an album ending on, like, a slow one.
I would say I think it's a really good ending song. Here, pull up the lyrics to this one. I think the lyrics are important to this one.
Well, yeah, like I said, the lyrics, I don't have any complaints about the lyrics. I like the message of the song.
Oh god, wait a minute. I like how on here it says whistling.
Whistling.
It says whistling.
Whistling.
I think my favorite thing is the song starts with, I hope you choke upon that red pill. I hope you go on and wait your turn. I hope you keep on singing Dixie Dear while the oceans boil and churn. Don't make us pay for all the lies your fathers told to you. I never claimed to be a hard man, and the world needs sissies too. That's how the song opens.
Which I like.
It's like, I'm mad again. Like I love that.
I heard those lyrics and I was like, the lyrics are good. I like it. Like, again, it's just conflicting views I have about it. I don't know why.
We've been lying to our lovers. In fact, we're lying to ourselves. Bottling our misgivings like they're jars upon the shelves. Normalizing decency is all I ask of you. Keep on swimming at the windmills because the world needs sissies too. Stop screaming at the mirror. Stop beating yourself blue. When you're catcalled by the reaper, will your conscience bother you? Our rage will not be important if it's the least that I can do. Oh, mama didn't raise no monster and the world needs sissies too. That's a really good fucking lyric. When you're catcalled by the reaper, will your conscience bother you? That's a really fucking good lyric.
Yeah.
God damn. Fuck, dude.
That's a cold
Put that
line.
on my headstone.
That's a cold line.
I want that on my fucking headstone. That's good. But yeah, no, and I mean, granted, this doesn't have to necessarily be like as political as Bound and Determined, but it still keeps that same, I mean, it is, but it still keeps that same tone, basically. Which I really, really like. I think that this song is incredibly fucking important. Again, it's a very good closing song, like, sound-wise and whatnot. But I think if there's another one I would want people to actually, like, really fucking listen to, it's this one. Like, really listen to it and really fucking think about it. But
the world needs sissies too.
When you're catcalled by the reaper, will your conscience bother you? Is such a good fucking lyric. And frankly, I feel like I need to make a painting or a drawing about it.
Yeah.
Because that is a good fucking visual in my head. Frankly. But, overall, that is Okay Crawdad by Nick Shoulders. And I fucking love this album. I think this album is absolutely fucking fantastic. I understand with some of the ones that dip where it's just kind of like meh, especially if you're not really into this type of music, where you really don't vibe with this type of music frequently. But to me, this album front to back flows really good, and it is it's just fucking killer.
You gonna ask me?
I don't know how this fucking podcast goes.
When you're done talking, you're supposed to ask me.
Oh, how you feel about the album?
Yeah.
Well, okay, how do you feel about the album? I don't know the pacing of this. You don't have notes in front of me. You peed on them.
I peed on the notes.
Sorry, I peed on my notes.
Peed on the notes. It's a pretty okay album. It's not horrible. It's not the greatest album of all time. We'll get into that in a minute. But I think it was an alright album. I enjoyed it. Like, it's a listenable album. It's 35 minutes long. So if you're raw dogging it like I was when coming into this, it's an experience to say the least, but it's not a horrible experience. Would I do it again? Sure.
So you're not like an avid Nick Shoulders fan after this? You're not like if Nick Shoulders toured with Orville Peck, would you say that's a good opener to go see Orville Peck?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll take it. But Trixie Mattel still isn't?
Man, I just...
We're doing a Trixie album.
Oh,
we're going to do a Trixie album one of these days.
fuck.
And I'm not going to tell you when. It's just going to come out of nowhere. And you're going to love it.
No.
You are going to love it.
I'm gonna hate it.
Oh my god, you're such a bitch.
Oh, I'm gonna hate it, man.
I don't know what the rest of this fucking podcast is like. You literally gave me no...
That was the review of the album. So now we could do favorite tracks. I get to pick my favorite tracks first, since you picked the album.
Okay.
First episode, we only picked one song because it was a 4-song EP. This is a full-length album, so we're doing 2 songs.
Okay.
Now, the rules are, if we somehow have the same favorite songs, you would technically have to change yours, because I get the first dibs. And my favorite songs that will be added to our playlist is Bound and Determined and Ding Dong Daddy.
Wow. All right. Jesus fucking Christ. I really didn't think you were going to pick Ding Dong Daddy.
Really?
Yeah.
Ding Dong Daddy and Bound and Determined.
I mean, I knew you were going to pick Bound and Determined, so I already did not pick that one out of just knowing you were going to pick that, but I didn't think you were going to pick Ding Dong Daddy. So, since you did, I'm going to say I was going to pick The World Needs Sissies 2 anyway. So, The World Needs Sissies 2, and I'll just throw Rather Low there, because Rather Low is a really good fucking song, too.
Okay, so I'm going in order of like how they are on the album. That's how I'm going to add them to a playlist, just in case people want to listen to the playlist without shuffle on.
Yeah.
I got 946 playlists. No, I can find it easily. I just saw it. There it is. So Rather Low. Ding Dong Daddy.
I really did not think you were going to pick that.
Bound and Determined.
I knew out of all of them you were picking Bound and Determined. I just didn't know
what other one did you think?
I thought you were going to do Rather Low and Bound and Determined.
Really?
Yeah. I really thought you were going to go like 2 of the most popular songs he's put out and just be like, yeah, these ones, they're good. They're fine. I like these ones. I thought the Honky Tonk song, you were going to be like, no.
Nah, I enjoyed it. I fucked with it. I
don't know. What else do we talk about on this podcast? This is still too new to me.
It's least favorite tracks. Mine. You can only pick 2.
I had to pick least favorites?
Yeah.
Ah,
so,
shit.
I'm gonna go with Too Old to Dream in Mississippi.
Can I pick a same song as you?
Least favorites, yeah, because like we're not adding it to a playlist.
Well, I would. Oh god, I mean, I'd probably say Mississippi because I feel like that's like the worst song on the album, even though I don't really think it's the worst song. Mm-hmm. Can I skip? Can I skip for another song? Because
Yeah, I was about to say, if you only have one, or if you don't have any, because like the AFI one, we didn't have any.
I would say, I wouldn't even say Mississippi. I would put as like bad enough to be least favorite tracks. But if I had to pick one, I would say that one. But I don't think it's bad enough to be like.
So that leads into, what would you score this album out of 10?
I'd say solid 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10?
I wish it was longer, personally.
Okay.
And if anything, I do wish there's a lot of fast-paced songs, but I could go for another Honky Tonk song. Frankly. But nonetheless, I think it's pretty flawless.
I'm giving it a 6.5 out of 10.
I figured as much you were gonna do that.
I feel like that's a fair standpoint of said album.
Well, I think you're wrong.
Anyway, yeah, that's the album. Okay, Crawdad. If you want to listen to these songs on a playlist along with AFI songs and more songs to be added as we do episodes, we will be adding our favorite songs on said playlist. You can probably type in on Spotify, Talkin Music, name of this podcast, on Spotify, and you could probably find it. It's under the name Dylvon Satan, Dylvon Satan. I'm not changing that on Spotify. It's been like that fucking forever. So if you know, you know. But you could probably find it there. There's currently 6 songs on there, 2 AFI songs, 4 Nick Shoulder songs at 17 minutes, and it's the picture is literally the picture of the podcast. So yeah. But yeah, that leads into our outro now. We're still getting used to this format of this fucking podcast. But I guess I gotta give everyone a tease of what the next episode's gonna be about, because it's my pick. Oh. So originally I told Lyssie that it was gonna be something else, and I decided to change my mind and go somewhere completely different. I'm not going to tell people the original plan. So we're just going to go with episode 3. I think both of us will enjoy.
I don't know how much I trust you.
So we are recording this on Tuesday, November 12th, which a big tour was announced today.
Oh, God, okay. Oh.
We will be reviewing My Chemical Romance, The Black Parade, a special album, part of, like, my preteen years, middle school age years.
All right, well, I mean, my favorite MCR song is off of The Black Parade, so.
It's not my favorite MCR album.
No, it's not my favorite MCR album either.
I'm not gonna lie, when I thought about doing this album, I thought about maybe should we just start with Bullets, but I was like, nah, let's just go for it. Let's go Black Parade.
We're not going to this concert, are we?
No, the fucking closest one's in Philly, where we just came from.
Yeah.
At the Philly Stadium.
I was talking to Mark about it earlier, and I don't think I want to go.
No, the tickets are gonna be fucking crazy expensive.
I'm not doing that.
We won't be able to go or anything. We have enough fucking things that we got to deal with, unfortunately. Yeah. It sucks. But, like, did you see, like, all the openers for, like, different days? Like, bro, Alice Cooper's the Philly date. But then, like, who else? They got Thursday, 100 Gex. Evanescence is one of them. Like, weird. They have so many different fucking openers. It's fucking crazy. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I honestly thought I saw, like, them teasing something yesterday. I don't know if you did or anything. Yeah. And I was like, oh, we're finally, like, getting a new album. Finally. Because, like, that's what I was waiting for. Because, like, that's what a lot of people are waiting for. I was like, we get a new fucking album. But then they announced this tour, and it's like, okay. Like, not what I wanted, but, like, maybe this tour leads into something. But it's like, why are you guys performing just the Black Parade? Like, you guys did it at the When We Were Young Fest. But, like, that was just falling under the line of, like, that was, like, the whole theme of, like, that fest. Of, like, the bands play an album at full length. So it just makes, like, it's not an anniversary. Like, the album came out in 2006. And so it's not like it's the 20th anniversary of the album or anything. But they're going on a tour, and they're performing the Black Parade in full. Which I find just very odd. Of, like, is this something a part of, like, this is going to be some Reddit shit that I got to read about.
Probably. Like,
is this MCR lore? But are you looking forward to, in 2 weeks episode? You don't know?
I mean, it is a song from my or an album from my childhood, so, you know, it'll be nice to revisit, but
yeah,
we'll talk more about MCR when we get to the episode.
Yeah, so that's a little spoiler for everyone that we'll be releasing an episode in 2 weeks. It'll probably, honestly, actually thinking about it now, it will probably be delayed until Friday. You guys usually will hear this on Thursdays, and 2 weeks is Thanksgiving.
Oh, yeah.
So it'll probably be delayed a little bit. But it won't be delayed terribly. So you guys will hear it when you hear it. We're going to make you guys fucking wait for the Black Parade, just like Gerard fucking made us wait 6 years that they were broken up, 7 years that they were broken up.
I don't know.
So you guys can fucking wait too, okay? Okay. Anyway, Lyssie, where can these people follow you?
Well, if you want to follow the podcast, you can find us on Instagram at Talkin Music Pod. That's TALKIN_MUSIC_POD. And if you want to follow me on any of my social medias, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at the same handle, which is Lungtar. That is LUNG_TAR. I just recently downloaded Blue Sky, so if you want to follow me on Blue Sky, you can follow me at Lungtar, which is LUNG-TAR, because you can't do underscores for whatever reason, but that's fine, I guess. And someone took Lungtar already. Like, who the fuck took that?
Those bitches.
Right? They like all one word. It was already taken, so I have a hyphen in it now.
Them motherfuckers.
So for Blue Sky, it's LUNG TAR.
DAR?
Sorry, I'm like choking to death. And if you want to find me on TikTok, you can find me at Lungbucks. That is LUNG_BUCKS. A lot of it's wrestling stuff though, so it doesn't really have a lot to do with music. But if you want to follow me, feel free.
And where can they follow the other podcasts?
Oh, and if you want to follow the wrestling podcast,
just in case they're wrestling fans.
In case you're wrestling
there
fans.
There could be a crossover.
You could find us on Instagram and YouTube. Instagram at Talkin Wrestling Pod, which is TALKIN_WRASSLIN_POD. And YouTube is just Talkin Wrestling Podcast. So.
And you can find me on Instagram at DYL_line. WEAVES_line. And you can find me on Twitter at DANI_line VALO_line. I don't have the blue sky or sky blue.
Oh, it's Blue Sky.
Blue Sky?
Mm-hmm.
Sky Blue's the wrestler. I don't have Blue Sky. I just know it's like a better Twitter, I guess.
Yeah, it's pretty much just a better Twitter right now. So far so good. It's going pretty cool.
I hate social media, so.
I'm liking it. So, I'm trying to still keep posting on both. We'll see how far wrestling Twitter decides to die. If wrestling Twitter just becomes obsolete, I'm probably just gonna end up going over to Blue Sky, but
Twitter's a wild world.
Yeah. But anyway, thank you guys so much for listening and watching. Follow us on our social medias. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, send us out to your friends, your neighbors, your partners, your best friends, your worst enemies, whomever. And till next time, we'll see you then.
And go listen to the album.
Yeah, go listen to the album.
Bye.
Goodbye.